The plasma round screamed overhead as Captain Jake Morrison pressed himself against the crystalline outcropping. The Valdris forces had pushed humanity back to the Outer Rim colonies, their advanced weaponry cutting through Earth's defenses, like paper. 3 years of interstellar war had reduced entire star systems to rubble, and humanity was losing. Jake's squad had been separated during the chaotic retreat from New Geneva Station. Now he found himself alone on the desolate moon of Kepler 442c, surrounded by the eerie blue glow of alien flora that seemed to pulse with its own heartbeat. His rifle's energy cell was down to 12%, and his comm unit had been damaged in the last firefight. The sound of approaching footsteps made him raise his weapon. Through the swirling mists of the alien landscape, a figure emerged that made his breath catch in his throat. She was tall and graceful, with the distinctive pointed ears and ethereal beauty of the Valdris race. Her armor gleamed silver and gold, marking her as high nobility, possibly even royalty. But it was her eyes that struck him most, those unmistakable violet orbs that seemed to hold the wisdom of ages. She approached slowly, her hands raised in a gesture of peace. When she spoke, her voice carried the melodic quality that all Valdris possessed, but there was something achingly familiar about it. "Human warrior," she said, her English surprisingly fluent. "I am Princess Lyra of the House of Valdris. I come under the ancient banner of Parley." Jake kept his rifle trained on her, though his hands trembled slightly. "Stay back, I won't hesitate to shoot." The princess tilted her head, studying his face with an intensity that made him uncomfortable. Suddenly, her eyes widened in recognition, and she took a step forward despite the weapon pointed at her. "It cannot be," she whispered. "Jake Morrison, of Earth's third colony world, Harmony Prime." The rifle nearly slipped from his grasp. No alien should know his name, let alone his birth world. "How do you know that?" "Because 23 years ago, when I was but a child of 7 Earth years, my diplomatic vessel crashed on your world during a routine cultural exchange mission." Her voice grew soft with memory. "A human boy found me in the wreckage, bleeding and afraid. He stayed with me for 3 days, sharing his food and water, protecting me from the wild creatures that roamed those forests." Jake's mind reeled as suppressed memories came flooding back. A little girl with pointed ears and violet eyes speaking in broken English. She had been so small, so frightened. He remembered sneaking food from his family's supplies, fashioning crude shelters from fallen branches, and telling her stories about Earth's heroes to keep her spirits up. "Ellie," he breathed, using the nickname he had given her because her real name was too difficult for his young tongue to pronounce. "You do remember." Tears glistened in her alien eyes. "When my people's rescue ships arrived, I begged them to take you with us. They said it was forbidden, that the cultural contamination protocols must be observed. I never forgot you, Jake. Morrison, I never forgot the human boy who showed me that courage was not about having no fear, but about doing what was right despite being afraid." The weapon fell to his side as Jake stared at the princess before him. The child he had protected had grown into one of the most powerful beings in the galaxy, and now they stood on opposite sides of an interstellar war. "Why are you here, Ellie?" he asked. "Why now?" "Because this war has gone too far." She gestured to the devastated landscape around them. "My father, the Emperor, believes that humanity must be contained or destroyed. He sees your species as a threat to the natural order. But I have studied your people, Jake. I have watched them for 23 years and I know better. Then why haven't you stopped this madness?" Princess Lyra's expression grew pained. "Because I am but one voice in a council of thousands. My father's advisors whisper poison in his ears, telling him that humans are savages who will consume the galaxy if left unchecked. But I know the truth. I know what humans are capable of when they choose compassion over conquest." Jake felt the weight of his rifle suddenly seeming heavier than ever. "So what now? Do we fight? Do I become just another casualty in your father's war?" "No." The princess reached into her armor and produced a small crystalline device. "This contains the location of my father's flagship and the access codes to disable its primary weapons array. With this information, your Earth Defense Force could launch a decisive strike that would end this war." You're committing treason against your own people. I am saving both our peoples." Her voice carried the authority of royalty, but underneath it, Jake could hear the echo of the frightened child he had once comforted. "My father will see reason once his war machine is crippled. The moderate voices in our council will finally be heard. There can be peace between our species, Jake, but only if someone is brave enough to take the first step." Jake stared at the device in her outstretched hand. "Why me? You could have given this to any human commander." "Because you taught me that true strength comes not from superior weapons or advanced technology, but from the willingness to protect those who cannot protect themselves. Because in 3 days on a wilderness world, a human child showed me more honor than I had seen. In years of royal court intrigue," he took the device, feeling its alien warmth against his palm. "What will happen to you when your father discovers what you've done?" "That is not your concern, old friend." She smiled, and for a moment he could see the little girl she had once been. "But know this, should I pay the price for this choice, I do so gladly. The boy who once shared his last piece of food with a stranger taught me that some things are worth any sacrifice." As Princess Lyra turned to leave, Jake called out to her, "Ellie, wait." She paused, looking back over her shoulder. "Thank you," he said simply. "No, Jake Morrison of Earth," she replied. "Thank you for showing me that the universe still holds room for heroes." The princess vanished into the mist, leaving Jake alone with a device that could change the course of an interstellar war and the memory of a friendship that had somehow survived 23 years and the vast emptiness of space.